Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The rumor mill in Miami is spinning like crazy, and the buzz is all about one thing, or rather, one man. Shaquille Griffin, the cornerback known for his blistering speed and instinctive playmaking, has reportedly signed with the Miami Dolphins in what many are calling one of the most strategic defensive moves of the season. Griffin, formerly of the Seattle Seahawks, has always been recognized as a monster of velocity, the kind of player who can shift the momentum of a game in just one play. His arrival in South Beach feels less like a simple signing and more like a declaration. The Dolphins are not here to play it safe, they're here to dominate. And if the whispers coming from the training facility are true, Griffin's impact on the locker room has been immediate. Players are reportedly fired up, the defensive unit is locked in, and coaches are already talking about how his presence changes the entire dynamic of their secondary. The combination of his natural leadership, his twin brother legacy from the UCF Knights, and that unmistakable hunger to prove himself again could turn this Dolphins defense into something terrifyingly good. Now, let's not pretend this move came out of nowhere. Those close to the Dolphins front office say the pursuit of Griffin was months in the making. Behind closed doors, Miami's coaching staff had been analyzing the defense's weaknesses, particularly in deep coverage and man-to-man matchups, and Griffin's name kept coming up. His ability to read quarterbacks, his explosiveness off the line, and that almost psychic timing when jumping routes make him a perfect fit for a team that thrives on aggression. Sources suggest that the Dolphins GM personally reached out to Griffin weeks ago, pitching him not just a contract, but a vision to become the face of a fast, fearless, and ferocious defense. That pitch reportedly struck a chord with Griffin, who has been eager to re-establish himself among the league's elite corners. After some back-and-forth negotiations, word is he signed a deal that balances solid guarantees with plenty of incentives, the kind of setup that screams, "Prove it." And knowing Griffin's competitive nature, that's exactly what he intends to do. Fans, of course, are already dreaming big. Social media exploded the moment the rumor hit. Dolphins fans flooding timelines with highlight clips of Griffin in his Seahawks days, locking down receivers and chasing down impossible plays. There's something poetic about this timing. Miami's been building momentum season after season, and just when it looked like they were one shutdown corner away from true defensive balance, the monster of velocity walks through the door. But it's not just about stats or speed, it's about attitude. Griffin brings swagger, resilience, and a chip on his shoulder that perfectly matches the energy of this Dolphins squad. People forget he's not just an athlete. He's a story, a symbol of perseverance and grit, molded by years of competition alongside his twin brother Shaquem. That bond, that drive, is what fuels him. And in a league where passion often makes the difference between good and great, Griffin's arrival could be the emotional spark that pushes Miami over the top. Inside the locker room, early reports suggest the chemistry is electric. Veterans are impressed by Griffin's work ethic, and younger players are soaking up his experience like sponges. One unnamed player even told a local outlet that Griffin's voice carries not just volume, but weight. That's the kind of influence a team craves in its secondary. A vocal, confident leader who sets the tone on and off the field. Coaches are reportedly tweaking defensive schemes to maximize his strengths, allowing him to play more freely and rely on his instincts. The Dolphins want to unleash him, not contain him. That means more press coverage, more opportunities for turnovers, and an overall faster tempo. It's the kind of strategic gamble that could redefine how opponents prepare for Miami. And while it's still technically unofficial, insiders insist it's a done deal, waiting only for the right moment to make headlines. Maybe they're saving it for a dramatic reveal. Maybe it's already signed and sealed. Either way, the storm is brewing. But let's take a step back and appreciate the narrative that's forming here. Griffin isn't just walking into any defense. He's stepping into one of the most exciting environments in football right now. The Dolphins' mix of young stars and seasoned veterans is something rare, a balance of speed and intelligence that few teams manage to achieve. Adding Griffin to that equation feels like the missing puzzle piece clicking into place. Remember, this is a guy who thrives in man coverage, who loves the one-on-one duels that define great corners. Imagine him lined up against the league's top receivers, bringing that Seahawks-style intensity to every snap. Fans can almost hear the stadium roar as he breaks up a third down pass, helmet glinting under the Miami sun. It's cinematic, the kind of storyline that makes football magical. And for a franchise hungry to prove it belongs among the elite, this move feels like destiny in motion. Of course, skeptics will point out the obvious. Griffin's had ups and downs. Injuries, inconsistent stretches, and the pressure of constant comparison to his twin brother have all shaped his career. But maybe that's exactly why this chapter feels different. Miami offers him not just a fresh start, but the perfect system to thrive. There's talk that head coach Mike McDaniel personally reached out to welcome him, emphasizing the team's family-first culture and commitment to player development. That resonates deeply with Griffin, who's always spoken about the power of brotherhood and belief. This isn't about chasing headlines. It's about redemption and resurgence. If the rumors are true, and Griffin really is bringing his lightning speed and relentless energy to Miami, then the AFC better start paying attention. Because when a player like that finds the right home, the league tends to remember it. The Dolphins might have just unlocked a new era of defensive dominance, and it's got everyone talking. Now, here's where things start to get even more interesting. According to a few insiders, Griffin didn't just come to Miami for the paycheck, he came for the challenge. He reportedly told close friends that he's ready to prove the fire's still burning, a nod to critics who've questioned whether he could return to peak form. The Dolphins staff has been quietly working on a specialized training plan designed to amplify his strengths while protecting his body from overuse. That means speed drills, reaction work, and a focus on balance, the kind of precision training that Miami's new performance department has become famous for. Word is, Griffin's already blowing minds in practice. His acceleration out of breaks, his ability to mirror receivers mid-route, it's all there. And when you combine that with his natural leadership, you start to understand why this signing could be one of the biggest sleeper moves of the year. There's also a psychological element to all this. Griffin thrives under doubt. Throughout his career, every time someone has written him off, he's found a way to come back stronger. That's the energy Miami seems to be feeding off right now, that us against the world mentality. Teammates have said that during his first team meeting, Griffin spoke about earning respect, not demanding it, and the room reportedly erupted in applause. It's the kind of statement that shifts a locker room's culture. The Dolphins' defense, once seen as inconsistent, could now morph into a brotherhood bound by pride and purpose. Coaches love it, fans love it, and honestly, the timing couldn't be better. The AFC East is a battlefield, and if Griffin plays up to his potential, quarterbacks like Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers might have to think twice before testing that side of the field. This isn't hype. It's a storm forming quietly but powerfully over Miami Gardens. As for the fans, they're already dreaming of what's next. The hashtag Griffin era has started popping up on Twitter, and Dolphins jerseys with his name are reportedly selling fast, even though the team hasn't officially announced his number. That's the kind of anticipation you can't buy. It's earned through excitement and belief. Sports radio shows in South Florida can't stop talking about how this defense might finally rival the offense in intensity and production. Imagine that, a complete, balanced Dolphins team firing on all cylinders. Griffin, with his speed and his story, becomes the emotional centerpiece of that transformation. There's something poetic about it all, a player rebuilding his narrative alongside a team rewriting its destiny. And if everything goes as insiders predict, those highlight reels we've seen from his Seahawks days might just be the prelude to something even greater. Behind the scenes, the Dolphins organization is reportedly planning a full-scale media rollout to welcome Griffin officially. Expect slick videos, player testimonials, maybe even a feature spotlighting his journey from UCF to the pros. It's marketing gold, a story of resilience and speed that fits perfectly into Miami's culture of flair and fearlessness. But beyond the headlines and photo ops, there's a deeper significance to this move. The team isn't just adding a cornerback, they're adding a tone setter, a voice, a force of nature. And make no mistake, the rest of the league is watching closely. If Griffin performs the way insiders are predicting, it won't just elevate Miami. It'll remind everyone why speed, heart, and hunger are still the most dangerous weapons in football. The monster of velocity has found his new home, and the NFL might never be the same again. Even rival teams are quietly taking note, studying Griffin's tendencies and preparing for his return to form. Some analysts are even predicting that with him anchoring the secondary, Miami could rank top 5 in pass defense by midseason. That's how big this move could be. It's more than just numbers on a stat sheet. It's momentum, confidence, and identity. For Griffin, it's the perfect comeback arc. For the Dolphins, it's the final piece of a puzzle that's been forming for years. And for fans, it's pure adrenaline. When the season kicks off and Griffin takes that first snap in aqua and orange, every eye in the stadium will be on him. They'll be waiting for that flash of speed, that signature break on the ball, that roar after the play. And when it happens, because everyone knows it will, Miami will erupt. The era of hesitation is over. The Dolphins are coming, and leading the charge is none other than Shockwell Griffin, the monster of velocity reborn. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? The excitement around Griffin's arrival hasn't slowed down one bit. In fact, it's only growing stronger as preseason whispers turn into concrete expectations. Reports from closed practices describe a player who looks rejuvenated, sharper, faster, and more focused than ever before. Coaches are reportedly astonished by how seamlessly he's adapted to the Dolphins' defensive schemes, as if he's been part of the system for years. Observers say he's been flying across the field, breaking up passes, and even mentoring rookies during downtime. That's the thing about Griffin. He's not just about athleticism. He's about impact, both physical and mental. He's the kind of player who makes everyone around him better. And in Miami, where energy and swagger are part of the DNA, that kind of leadership is priceless. The vibe around the facility is one of quiet confidence, a feeling that something special is brewing under the Florida sun. It's not just about hope anymore, it's about belief. Another layer to this story is how Griffin's signing has reignited fan engagement in a way few moves could. Dolphins Nation has always been passionate, but this feels different, almost emotional. Griffin represents a comeback story that mirrors the Dolphins' own resurgence. Just like the team has fought to reclaim relevance in a stacked conference, Griffin has fought to reclaim his reputation among the league's best. The parallels are striking, and when those narratives align, something powerful happens. Fans connect not just to the team, but to the story itself. Local media outlets are calling this the spark that could light the flame, and it's hard to disagree. Everywhere you look, from barbershops to beaches to sports talk radio, people are talking about the new Dolphins defense and how it feels like the dawn of a new era. Griffin has given Miami more than just skill. He's given them an identity. And yet, beneath all the excitement, there's a sense of anticipation, the calm before the storm. Everyone knows that talk is cheap in the NFL. What matters is what happens when the pads come on and the crowd roars. But if Griffin's history tells us anything, it's that he thrives in those moments. Pressure doesn't rattle him, it fuels him. The thought of him stepping onto the field at Hard Rock Stadium, the crowd chanting his name as he locks eyes with a top receiver, feels almost cinematic. It's the stuff of highlight reels and legends. And maybe, just maybe, this is the moment Miami has been waiting for. A team ready to rise, a player ready to reclaim his throne, and a city ready to believe again. Shockwell Griffin isn't just joining the Dolphins. He's becoming part of their heartbeat. The monster of velocity has landed in paradise, and the NFL better brace itself for what comes next. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.